and welcome to Kids Club at Home. I hope you've had a good half term with lots of fun, but have had some time to rest too. It is February, and so we bring you another Kids Club at Home. Today we are going to sing a song, look at another story Jesus told, play a game, make a craft, learn a memory verse, and slot in some prayer.
So we're going to sing One Way, and we'd like you to join with us. You just copy the actions that Zoe does as we go along. I lay my life down at your feet. You're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I seek. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You are always, always there, every how and everywhere. Grace abounds so deeply within me. You will never ever change. Yesterday, today, the same. Forever means forever means no end. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Let's go down low. Ready for the bridge. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we live in all for you. Up a little higher. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we live in all for you. And standing up tall. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we live in all for you. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we live in all for you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for.
That was a great song, wasn't it? Now, the Daldings have a game for us to enjoy. Some of you might remember it from Kids Club.
So today at Kids Club at Home, we're going to play a game of Sammy Sweet. You might remember this. We used to play Sammy Sweet at Kids Club when we were all together. So someone is going to go out of the room, and when they've gone out, we're going to choose one of those sweets to be Sammy. And when they come back, they can eat sweets, but they mustn't eat Sammy. Sammy Sweet is a really fun game, but it can be a bit scary because it's a terrible shock when people suddenly shout at you and tell you not to eat Sammy. So who would like to go out first? Oh, go on then, Lauren. Hannah, would you want to choose Sammy? Okay, did everybody see? Okay, Lauren, you can come back. Okay, you can start eating. Just in case, get in her mouth quick.
Green.
Don't you like yellow either?
I like those. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, Josh has gone out. I didn't see it. Do it again. Okay. Okay, Josh. Don't eat Sammy Sweet! You've eaten him!
Of course I have. I've touched him.
Okay, so Hannah's gone out and Lauren has chosen Sammy. Okay, Hannah, come back. Don't eat Sammy Sweet! She's eaten him. Can you believe it? Go, Mike. Josh can choose Sammy Sweet this time. Okay. Okay, Mike. Go for it. Don't eat Sammy Sweet! Papa's turn. Go, Papa. We can't see it because she's on the wrong side.
She did that one. Is that Sammy?
No, but it's about to be.
What does that mean?
Don't eat Sammy Sweet!
That looked like a good game, didn't it? Getting to eat all those sweets. But you never know when you're going to get shouted at to stop, do you? Poor Josh only got to eat one sweet. Right, next it's time for our story. So,
Find a cosy chair to sit in. Put on your listening ears. And your thinking cap.
now I wonder how many of you managed to watch our kids club back in January. Do you remember the story that we heard? Nikki told us a story that Jesus told about talents. We learned that we have all been given talents and abilities by God. And we also learned that we should use our talents and abilities to help and serve other people. Today we're going to look at another story that Jesus told. This one can be found in Luke chapter 12, verses 16 to 20. In this story, we meet a man, and this man has been given wealth and riches by God. Let's see what he decides to do with it. Once there was a farmer. He had a big farm with lots of fields. He was quite a rich man, but he always wanted to be richer. He dreamed of the day when he would be rich enough to stop working. Every year he planted his crops and watched to see how they would grow. Then one year there was just the right amount of sun and just the right amount of rain. And the farmer's crops grew strong and tall. As the farmer looked out across his fields, he smiled to himself. Yes, this is what I've been waiting for. With this harvest, I will be very rich indeed. There's only one problem though. Where will I store all these crops? My barns are not big enough. The farmer thought to himself for a while. I know, I will knock down my barns and build bigger ones where I can store this great harvest. Then I will say to myself, you have all the good things you need for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink and enjoy yourself. But God said to him, you foolish man, this very night you are going to die. Then who will get all that you have stored up for yourself? I hope you like that story. In that story, the farmer was already a rich man. But was he happy? No, he wanted more. Then one year he had a huge harvest, more crops than he could store in his barns. So what did he decide to do? He decided he was going to knock down his barns and build bigger ones so that he could keep all his crops for himself. And then he was going to put his feet up and enjoy life and not have to work anymore. Do you think that made God happy? No, it did not. I wonder what you would have done if you were that farmer. Would you have been tempted to store up all that for yourself? Or would you have given away what you didn't need to help other people? Did you know that all the good things that we have come from God? In our story, it was God who sent the rain and the sun that made the farmer's crops grow strong and tall. But did the farmer remember to say thank you to God? No, he didn't. He was too busy thinking about himself. And even though he had lots more food than he needed, did he think to share it with people who maybe didn't have enough food? No, he didn't. The farmer thought he would be happy if he was rich and had lots of things. But what happened in the end? In the end, he died and he didn't get to enjoy any of it. When God gives us good things, like toys and clothes and nice food, he wants us to enjoy them. But he doesn't want them to become more important than him in our lives. And he doesn't want us to be greedy and selfish and always wanting more. When we're like that, it makes God sad. God should always be the number one in our lives, the most important one. We should remember to thank him for all the good things that he gives us. We should also remember that not everyone has as much as us, and it's good to think about ways in which we can share. If you have lots of toys, maybe you can share them with your brothers or sisters, or maybe if you don't play with them anymore, there's someone you could give them to, and they might be able to enjoy them. Or if you've got lots of clothes, maybe when you grow out of them, there's someone that you could give them to. If you have plenty of food, you can take some to a food bank like this one, and they will give it to people who don't have enough food. When we are greedy and selfish and just think about ourselves, that makes God sad. But if we are thankful to God for all the good things he has given us, and if we are generous to others, then that makes God happy. Now I'm going to finish by saying a prayer, and if you'd like to make it your prayer, join in by saying Amen at the end. Father God, we thank you for the many good things that you have given us. Please help us not to be selfish and try and get more for ourselves, but help us to be generous towards others. Amen. Next, we're going to learn a memory verse.
by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15. A man's life is not measured by the many things he owns. Luke 12, verse 15.
In a minute, Janice is going to show us a lovely craft. But first, let's have a look at some of the pictures of the photo frames that you made in January. It's great to see you have so many talents. If you make this week's craft, we would love to see a photo of it. You can send them to us at kidsclubathome@yahoo.com, and then we can include them in next month's Kids Club.
Today, for our Kids Club at Home craft, we're going to make a barn to remind us of the story where the rich fool built bigger and bigger barns, but he forgot God. So this is what you need for making this barn. So you need the instructions, which have got at the bottom some labels that you'll need to cut out. You'll also need to print out this template. You'll need some scissors, glue, some pens and some crayons. So let's follow the instructions. The first thing you do is print off the barn template and fold the sheet in half. So it looks like this. And then you unfold it. You cut along the T lines. I'm going to call them T lines because they look like it's a T. So you cut along the T lines. You don't cut corner lines. Then you open them up so you get some door flaps. There's one at the top, that's the top window into the barn. Then the big barn doors at the bottom. You fold them open. Okay. So the next thing you do is you turn it over. Keep the doors open. You're going to put some glue on the barn. You don't put any glue there. You don't put any glue on the flaps. You only put glue on this half. Put it on the bits up here and around the top of the window and down, but not on the door itself and not on the window. And then you close the barn like that, folding it in half. Then when you turn it back round, you've got a barn. So the next thing you do is you can cut off the corners to make the barn roof. So now it's starting to look like a barn. You've got some words at the bottom of here. I'm going to cut those out now. So you take the really, really little one, which has got the story title and the verses where it comes from in the Bible, and you glue that in between the two doors. So even when you close the doors, you can still see it. You stick the big one, which says that the rich fool builds some bigger barns, in the bottom one, and you stick the smaller one that tells you that he forgot about God in the top barn. Then you decorate your barn. So I used my pens to draw some big bits because I decided that my barn door was made of wood, but you can decorate yours how you like. I'm going to put some tiles on the roof, and inside maybe I'll draw some sacks of corn. Some big fat ones. You can stack them up. And colour them in. And I coloured the big area on the outside of my barn in with crayon. There we go, so you've made a barn. Well done.
I hope you have enjoyed Kids Club at Home. You can check out our other activities on the Vine Church Heart YouTube channel and the Vine Church Facebook page. And we look forward to seeing you in March for another Kids Club at Home.